Hi guys. Okay, this is a short video containing the photo montage I promised. Please note that these are my interpretations and how I see things. Others may see it differently, and that is okay. I receive so many DMs and email asking questions and for my observations that I just had to do this to keep a good 30% of my viewers happy. Okay, so here goes. In the first picture, we have the supposed Little Bit's birthday party picture with Harriman's wife and children. And obviously, the other one is the color picture of Little Bit. In my opinion, it is not the same child. Or if it was the same child being used for both photographs, then one or both of the pictures had been altered. Let's now forget about the teeth, okay? We've already sorted that out. But this time, compare the bottom of the eyes. As you can see in the black and white picture, the bottom of the eyes slant upward, and in the color picture, it slants downward. You will also notice that the hair at the side path of the child in the black and white picture is shorter than the hair of the little girl in the color picture. Then it is my opinion that at least the body of the child Meghan is holding is that of a toddler between 18 and 24 months, whereas judging by the arms and the hand of the child in the color picture, it is consistent with that of a, say, 1 year old or a smaller, younger child. Now, I'm not a pediatrician, so I do not have the exact medical terms to use, but the limbs of a baby is more rounded regardless of whether it is a chubby or a thin baby. It has something to do with muscle development starting and changing when they start walking and developing the longer they walk or use their arms and legs. The arms of the child in the color picture is thus not consistent with the legs of the child in the black and white picture, in my opinion. Okay, so let us now look at the black and white picture as a whole, starting with the background. I have shown you a picture in a previous video of Little Bit's supposed room in the Montecito home. The heater in both pictures are very similar. I also find the painting or the artwork in the background very, very familiar. But to date, my brain has not yet retrieved that information. But I'm sure I've seen it in one of Harry and Meghan's video calls from their Montecito home. I just cannot remember exactly which one and have not had the time to go back and watch all of them. But I am almost sure it is an etching or print by an African artist. But yes, almost sure is not 100% sure. But obviously, I'm entitled to my opinion. Okay, so now let's look at Megxie herself. All of you are of the same opinion that she appears to be at least 10 kilograms lighter in the black and white picture, and I agree. She also looks younger, and again, I agree. Many of you said it looks familiar, and I agree. I could not find the exact photograph of Mexi, but I did find two pictures of her with Trevor Engelson, which are very, very similar. During that time, she sported a blunt cut to the ends of her hair, something she has not had since she married Harry. She also used chemical straightener during that time, which left her hair straight but rather stiff looking, for lack of a better word. We know from her hairdresser, or one of them, that she now uses alternative treatments. And although one of her hairdressers said he had never added extensions to her hair, we have actually seen her with extensions. The hair extensions likely came as result of her hair thinning due to age and continued use of chemical treatments to straighten her hair. Her hair in the black and white picture looks like her natural hair straightened and having used a light oil treatment to get it sleek and in place. So, guys, I agree with you that an older picture of Meghan had been used. How and where exactly this black and white picture had been modified, I cannot tell. My filter picks up a few anomalies, but nothing significant. Yet, that does not mean that Photoshop or another app had not been used. I bought a Wacom drawing tablet many months ago while in Canada, as it was on special for about 50 Canadian dollar. I bought it specifically to help me finish the two books I'm busy with, but unfortunately, I have not had the time to use it much. However, I have tried out a few software programs, and with those and the Wacom pen, it is so easy to alter a face by, for instance, to select the corner of a mouth and pull it down into a grimace, or lift it up into a smile, or to trace a body, remove it and place it on another background. The more you practice, the more accurate you get. The steadier your hand, the more accurate you will be. It is almost as simple as that, as the software does almost everything else. Now, the software is readily available, some of it even for free, for a period of time at least. Others are on a subscription basis, and some you can buy outright. These programs are used regularly by industrial designers, interior designers, graphic designers, artists, photographers, and so on. So, for people to say that it is highly unlikely for Meghan and her photographer to do this, it is just plain silly and ignorant. Even wedding photographers and old ladies like me can and do use programs and applications like these for a variety of purposes. But because these apps are now so easy and readily available, we must also be very careful not to just randomly believe creators and influencers on social media and attribute every glitch in every picture to Meghan's use of Photoshop or other apps. Here is an example of what I'm talking about. I saw this particular picture on an Instagram page. It was used as an example of Meghan's sloppy Photoshop, but I found the original as it appeared in, I think, if I remember correctly, Hello Magazine, or it could even be OK, I'm not sure. But never mind. As you can see, the corner of the table in the original is not wonky, and therefore it is likely that someone else did this to stir some trouble or gossip. There are, however, two or three fairly reliable ways to determine whether a picture had been altered or not. The first is the obvious one, namely to look at the metadata. The problem with this is that the photographer, if he is a little computer savvy, can alter or delete or hide the metadata. The other issue is that a photographer can take a photograph on, say, Monday, but only upload it to his computer on Wednesday. And depending on his camera or computer software, it is likely that the metadata will show as the date it was uploaded to the computer, or then the last time he worked on the photograph. So, if he put the finishing touches to it on, say, Thursday, and then saved it, that is what will show up on the metadata, okay, or at least the date on the metadata. In my opinion, Meghan learned that lesson the hard way with Archie's supposed christening group photo, where the metadata dated back to more than a month prior to the supposed event. Yes, it is nothing strange to find metadata dates being a day, a week, or even a month after an event, but for it to show up as before an event is strange, very, very strange. The other fairly reliable way is to pixelate a photograph. The subject's distance from the camera should be more or less consistent, okay? So that means that, say, the subject's hair will not be a meter closer to the camera than the subject's nose, okay? And the subject's mouth will not be a meter further away from his or her eyes, for instance. So portions of, say, a face should have pixels more or less of the same size and density. If not, then it is likely that the one or the other had been altered. Light or lighting can also influence pixels. Thus, this method is not 100% accurate, but will give you a darn good idea, okay? A dead giveaway of a cut and paste is, however, a cutting edge. Some of the applications are not 100% accurate and may leave a tiny, small piece of the original background or cut a little into the subject. Even doing it by hand and not leaving it completely up to the application you use is still very difficult, as the tiny pixels of the background left behind is not always visible to the naked eye on a computer screen. So, here I have one of Meghan's own pictures, which I have not touched. All I did was to enlarge the picture, and then I took a screenshot of the enlarged picture to fit it back into a size which will fit on a YouTube screen. Now, notice the cutout line, that white line around Meghan. Okay, can you see it? I can thus, with almost 99% certainty, tell you that a cutout of Meghan or someone looking like her was pasted onto a photograph of a little boy running on the beach. Yes, but there was a short video clip, you say. Well, my dears, ask any movie maker. Superimposing someone or something into a video clip has been done for years. Now, changing hair color or eye color or skin color is as easy as applying a filter these days. You have actually seen me do it. And I am someone who is less than average when it comes to computer skills. But I have still done it in numerous videos. Yes, I use a simple filter like a cartoon filter or a black and white or sepia filter because my intention is not to deceive you, but either to prevent a copyright strike or to hide a kid's face or take away the majority of my wrinkles, okay? But to change or remove the color from a selected area is so easy these days. You can actually do it on a picture in a normal WPS or Word document. It is that easy. But now we get to the crux of the matter, an almost fail-proof way to tell whether a picture had been altered. Now, it's not impossible, but very, very difficult to add an accurate shadow or reflection to any object or objects in a picture. One of my subscribers even joked and said she is sure Meghan is a vampire because she hardly ever has a reflection and often no shadow. Well, this stuck with me, and I actually went and looked at random pictures of Meghan. And you know what, guys? She was right. And I thought it was hilarious. Anyway, let's quickly look at the party picture again. Because of the reflection on the picture in the background, it is clear that Camilla and Meghan and the children are between the picture and the window. So where are the reflections? There is one head reflected on the glass, but whose is it? It looks small, so maybe it is supposedly little bit's reflection. But she is almost right up against Meghan, and Meghan's head is slightly higher. So where is Meghan's reflection? Although small, it could also be the photographer's reflection. But if you follow the women and children's gazes, it is clear that the photographer is standing directly in front of them, just a little further away, so obviously his reflection will be smaller. But explain to me then why his reflection would be the only one in the glass. It is more likely that the reflections of the people closer to the glass would be in the picture than his if he is standing further away. Think about that. So, guys, there you have it. Like I said, these are my opinions based on the little I know, and that is it. But based on the little I do know about the subjects brought up here, it is my opinion that these photographs are not proof that the children were in the United Kingdom or even at Frogmore. Okay, guys, that's it for now. And hopefully, if all goes well, I will see you again tomorrow. So until then, please take good care of yourselves. Bye.